Atumbidde ku mutimbe guno bannaye Luganda nga luganye kale. Welcome to Pal Exchange. This is Ian, one of the hosts of this show. I know some of you today could be wondering, where's Bailey? Yeah, so Bailey is over on the other side. She traveled to Canada to meet one of her friends. She met a while back while she was in Uganda, so they worked together while there, and turns out they actually became good friends. So she took a trip over there, and I don't really want to spend most of your time explaining to you what she's exactly doing there. Bailey should be able to do that herself over the other side. So if you don't mind, I will let you turn over and see what Bailey's actually doing over there.
Hello everyone. I am in a bit of a different location, as you can see. I am with my friend Emily here, and we are driving in the Greater Toronto area. So I have spent this past week in Canada visiting Emily. So Emily was working and living with me when I was in Uganda. So we went from being strangers to then seeing each other every day for the full time that we were living and working in Uganda. Yeah. So it's been a joy to get to see where she is from and get a glimpse of things here, what life is like in Canada, and have some of those comparisons, similarities and differences to the US, and also to get to reminisce with each other on our times in Uganda. And so I thought I'd take the opportunity and get to hear from her so that you guys have another voice in the mix, that it's not just me and Ian all the time, and get to hear a little bit about Emily's observations and experiences of living in Uganda, and maybe how it compares to life in Canada and that sort of stuff. So I guess to start off with, you have been back in Canada for a little over 6 months?
I think so, yeah.
And actually maybe
like
nearing 7 now. Yeah. And
which is
so
crazy.
It is crazy to think about. So that's okay. For perspective and context, we were working in Uganda for about 10 months, and you've now been back for 7. So
so like coming on the whole time.
Yes. So, what have you missed about life in Uganda?
I feel like what I miss, there's different time periods when I'm in Canada and I'm like, oh, I miss this so much, or something will remind me of things and I miss them. But the past couple of days I was thinking, and this morning we were at church, and I was like, I really miss church services in Uganda. And like all of them are so different. It's not like one church, it's not like every church service in Uganda that I attended was the same, but there was like an overall feelings of joy, even in the midst and acknowledgement of like hardship and stuff. It wasn't like a naive or like, oh, everything is great, but there was this like genuine joy from the Lord, like not our own joy, but joy from the Lord. Yeah. In like the way we worshipped and danced. I miss dancing in church services. Right. This morning the like songs are playing, and I was like, we could be dancing.
Right, like the words that we're singing are so powerful, and then we're just standing there.
Yeah. Yeah. And even sometimes in church services, like I don't break into dance, but sometimes I'm like standing there and I'm kind of like hitting the pew in front of me, or like moving a little, and I'm like, yeah, I miss that. Or we were talking yesterday, I think I miss like, I'm not sure exactly what different churches called it, but like there was this sense of communal prayer in most services where you were praying individually, and it was a time of individual prayer, but everyone was speaking their prayers aloud and moving around, and sometimes spontaneously you would start praying for the person next to you or whatever, and it was all just like very together and individual at the same time. And like I think it was also really cool because in that there were some people lifting their gratitude to the Lord for something that he had just done in their life. There were some people like crying out to him for a miracle. There were people like that didn't even know what to say to him. There were people who were just like so joyful and praising his name, and like it was everything in the same room at the same time.
Right, just collectively lifting our voices up to the Lord.
Yeah, so I miss that too. So I think church is like one of the very big things that I miss. And then I also miss a lot of people there. Like, I had 2 different host families and lots of friends at the campus, and like you can stay in touch through WhatsApp, and we do, and I'm so grateful for that. But it's not the same as just like getting on a boda. I also miss getting on a boda. Getting on a boda and going to my host family's house and showing up, and my host siblings like run outside and we walk around outside, and then we go inside and we are sitting on the couches and we're eating pineapple or whatever it is. Like, just that, like, I don't know, it just felt really natural, and so I miss that as well. I think, those are 2 of the big things.
And I think the type of connection in Uganda, it feels a bit different too.
Yeah.
Like, it's more of just like being present with the people in front of you.
Yeah.
And here you might be with people, or here when I say here, I mean like as in North America, like US and Canada. You might be with people, but you know their mind is somewhere else, or it's, you know, they're with you for now, but then they're gonna get to this next thing, and so there's more of a rush or busyness to it, and distraction as well. Whereas like in Uganda, it's just like, no, we're just here together, and let's enjoy it, and
and like
fully present.
What could come of that too? Like, I remember one day I went to my host families to visit, and this was early on, and it was just going to be a quick visit and say hello and whatever. And then all of a sudden my host mama was like, have you ever gone to a Thanksgiving here? And I was like, no. And my host dad is a reverend, and she's like, well, we're going to one in 10 minutes. Like, you come. And I was like, okay, like, sure, great. And so I just like went to this Thanksgiving, and it was also really cool. Like, the people who were hosting the Thanksgiving, they did not know me, but they never once questioned why I was there. I mean, I'm sure there was a little bit of like, oh, you're new.
But who's this Mzungu over here?
But no, they never questioned why I was there, and wasn't like, oh, like, this is our Thanksgiving. It was just like, we were all there. So, things like that.
The like openness and welcome and hospitality. Good stuff. And I think one of the challenges facing us is, okay, how do we try to bring some of that into our lives here,
or like bridge, you know, with
bridge that difference, of like, okay, the culture in our countries doesn't like lend itself naturally to the same kind of like warmth and welcome and presence, but how can we still try to cultivate some of that even in our context and environments here. So good stuff. And I think, I don't know, this is gonna sound like me bragging now, but I feel like we're this week has been an example of that. You know, we've I think when you're intentional, you can seek it out. And like, I don't know, I think it's just trying to put people at the center of things, and like when you have the opportunity and you're like, oh, I'm in this town for dinner, who do I know in this town? Oh, do you want to go for dinner? Like, things don't have to be planned a week in advance. And if they can't come, it's no big deal. But like, you just kind of, there's no hard feelings about it. Just embracing it when you can. So I am curious, what were some of the biggest, or like, it doesn't have to be the biggest, but just what were some of the big noticeable differences in living in Uganda compared to living in Canada?
Well, for starters, it's snowing right now. And there was no snow in Uganda. So there were lots of like practical, I guess, for lack of a better word, differences. Like, there would be, there's sirens right now, and I'm trying to figure out where they're coming from.
It's up there.
Okay, great. The weather, the food was different. Even like the way I would dress for different events, like those expectations and stuff like that. I also, again, actually, I know I spoke this already, but like one of the differences that I kind of associated culturally as well was the way they worship and the way they understand God's character. And it's not that it's different than ours at its heart. Like, it's not like they understand a different God than us.
It's not a different God, but when your life looks different, there might be elements of God's character that you're more aware of, I guess.
And the way that we might relate to God and relate to one another versus them. So I thought that was really cool, like going back to that, like prayer and all those things. Also the looseness of the structure that we were talking about, of like, and that was like hard to adjust to. I remember one of my first days back in Canada, we were having guests over and they were supposed to come at a certain time, and then all of a sudden, like, we were running a little late, and it was a big deal. Like, I remember my family being like, oh, like, what are we gonna do? And I was sitting there and I was like, it's like 20 minutes, like, it's not that deep, but it's a big it's a big difference.
Like, people were getting worked up about things not being like according to a timetable. Okay. And
just like, I don't know, like, if you had an appointment here, if you had like coffee date with someone here and you're meeting at 10, literally 10 a.m. is probably when you're walking in the coffee shop. And like, I remember even that being an adjustment of like 10:02 is late. Here, there it's like not even thought about, like, kind of that, or not just time, not just bound to time, but like the plan and what we're doing. And like the same thing as when I went to my host family and she was like, oh, come to a Thanksgiving. Like, when I woke up that day, I had no idea I was going to a Thanksgiving. But
it's a lot more of a flexible way of living, I guess. For sure.
And it's kind of like the culture and the way, like, even like practical things of public transportation and stuff work. Like, you can't plan for everything.
No, you can't. And like, you don't know what the traffic jam is going to be like. You don't know what road conditions are going to be like, especially if it's rainy season in Uganda, and then everything is muddy, and you know, that takes longer to get places then. So So there's so many differences, and like I said, like, there's also differences with food, and like, it's very different foods. I miss the food there as well. Juice. We are going to a like East African market. In the Toronto area here. So we're gonna see what we can find. See what Ugandan goodies we can.
So I'm excited for that. But there's lots of little differences like that too, I think.
What have you found to be this is kind of a big question, but how do you feel like the way that you live has been impacted by your experiences of living in Uganda?
To be honest, I think it's but the fact that I met so many people in Uganda and built so many relationships, like, those people have impacted my life. And I just have a wider community and a wider and then, like, I learned from them when we had conversations in Uganda, and even still. And so I think that's the biggest one of, like, I have not another life, but I have an aspect of life in Uganda.
Your life has expanded.
My life has expanded,
and your perspectives have expanded because of that.
Expansion is actually like a word I kept coming back to when I try to, like, explain to people, because I can't use the word changed, because that makes it sound like I went from X to Z.
Right, like, oh, you're a totally different person than you were. It's like, well, no, but like, things have opened up.
This is still the same. Like, these things that I went to Uganda with are still the same, but now it's opened up and it's expanded. So I think things like that. And it's also been really cool. I met just recently, just before, so I just finished like my Christmas season, and before that I just finished exams. And right before exams, I met this girl who goes to the same school that I go to, who's from Uganda. She moved to Canada like 2 years ago. And so just like those things, like, I just have a wider opportunity to connect with people. And build that community and learn from people and be in a relationship with them. And so I'm really looking forward to, like, hanging with her and learning more about her community here, and like also learning how she, as a local from Uganda, then navigates Canada, because I'm navigating Canada coming back from Uganda, but I was a local here, so just those
like, you have the familiarity still from being from growing up in Canada. Well, I look forward to hearing how that friendship grows. I know that it's been huge for me to have made friends with Ian, and for us to be able to connect over things that we can understand when we're surrounded by a lot of people that don't necessarily get it. And there's something special about that. So welcome to Toronto, where the before we were on the highway and things were a bit more calm, but now we are in the thick of it. In the city, the tall buildings and everything. I kind of think that I should include a clip of our surroundings.
That would be cool.
Yes, stay tuned for that. But thanks for being willing to talk a little bit about your experiences. And if there are things that you want to hear about from Emily, I think I could convince her to share a bit more on a later episode. Yeah. So, yeah. Thanks for hosting me in Canada this week.
Of course, anytime.
Yeah.
Anytime.
And thanks for listening in.